It's time to walk into your purpose and shed the light on you and be the person that you were designed to be. It does no good watching my YouTube channels and you go take information overload, take notes and saying you want better and you're going to do better, but you never do it. Welcome to the 700 Club. I'm gonna need you to leave that 4, that 5, and that 600 credit score at the door. I am your girl, Nika Johnson, a credit coach and budgeting expert, and I help people take control of their money, baby. Look, I'm here to tell you, all debt ain't bad. There's a such thing as good debt and bad debt, and it's all based on how you control it. So I need you to take out your pen and your pad because class is now in session. Now, when we think about credit, people always want to say they want a good credit score. I'll say, hey, okay, what is some of your financial goals? What is your desired credit score? And typically, people's going to say, oh, I want a 700 credit score. Oh, I want an 800 credit score. That's cute. That's fine. But let's be for real. Next question I propose is, do you understand credit? I think it's based off of how much money you make. It's something that's important, but I really don't understand. Followed by that, I'm here to tell you, if you don't understand what is credit, how the hell are you going to fix it? How do you sit up here and say that you want a 700 credit score or you want an 800 credit score or whatever the desire of the credit score number that you want? How do you sit up here and say that you want it, but you don't understand what composes it, what makes of it? So let's say that you want to bake a homemade cake. You want to bake a homemade cake you never baked before. And in order to bake a cake, you need the ingredients, you need the recipe. It's the same thing of everything else in life, especially credit. You need the ingredients, what makes it, but also the steps on how to fix it, the how-to, the recipe instructions. So within that is, how can you sit there and say that you want your credit fixed, but you don't know what makes up credit? The simplest way to understand credit, it is a 3-digit number that's ranging from 300 to 850. And within that, the average credit score is going to be a 640 FICO score. There's a difference between Vantage and FICO. Credit Karma is a Vantage score. The information reporting is accurate, but the score is not. So within that, I always recommend is monitoring your credit report from Experian.com. The only time you actually need to pay for credit monitoring is if you're in the process of repairing your credit or purchasing a home. Other than that, you can use your resources that's in your budget. Okay, and while we at it, make sure you like, you comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. But you could be able to look at Experian.com and the information that's reporting on Credit Karma to be able to get the best results, to be able to get the best accurate information of what is truly going on with your credit report, to kind of have a full picture in that aspect. The same thing is when we play in sports, it's just like basketball. If you're riding the bench, are you in a game? No. So you gotta be in the game to play the game, to use it as leverage. So you need to leverage credit. Credit is a tool. It's a wealth hack. How do you leverage your credit? How do you hide your credit card utilization? How do you multiply the money? There's no good in always using your money, always using cash. If you're using a debit card, I'm here to tell you, I need you to ditch it. The only thing you should be going forward is only using your credit. Only use the credit card. And let me explain. When you use a debit card, you're using your money. When you use your credit card, you're using other people's money. And who don't like spending somebody else's money? Okay? But the key thing is understanding your credit so you can be able to pay off your debt. Just a show of hands, let me know in the chat, is debt a good thing or a bad thing? I always hear people say that debt is a bad thing, but how? How can debt be such a bad thing if it can make you money? If it's an investment, if it's an asset. The only time it's bad debt is when you can't manage it. Let me break this down. Purchasing a home, they say, oh, it's never yours. But purchasing a home, it's a tax write-off. You can do home improvements. You can rent it out. You can borrow the equity. You can do so much with it. Now, renting, what can you do? You can't claim it on your taxes. You can't pass that down for generational wealth. You gotta get permission, basically, from your landlord of what you can and cannot do. And sometimes you can get kicked out at any time. So quit being a serial renter, and it's time to be a homeowner. Own something other than debt and trauma. But when we talk about paying off your debt, how can we intentionally pay off your debt? Because it starts with the foundation of budgeting, savings, and credit. The 3 primary components when it comes to budget to success, to be able to be successful successful is managing your finances. Baby, you got a budget, okay? How can you sit here and say that you want to fix your credit, but you don't know how to manage your money? You don't know how much money you have to put towards debt. Let's say, for example, of a creditor say, all right, we go to a debt settlement, you need to pay the funds right here, right now, and you ain't got the money. Make it make sense, okay? So budget, manage your money. You need to control your money so it's not controlling you, and there's a difference. Savings is just as important, because don't go working 9 to 5 and don't pay yourself first. Don't go working in your business and not pay yourself, because the income is always going to fluctuate. You want to be able to have a savings account to have that safety net, because it does no good if you're focused on paying off debt, but then you turn around and incur more debt. You can't afford not to save money. In order to improve your credit, you need to manage your debt. So here's some different strategies of how you can be able to pay off your debt. 1, look into a balance transfer. Why does a balance transfer matter? Is because you could be able to transfer balance to another credit card that typically is going to have a 0% introductory rate or a special promotion. This allows you to strategically pay off your debt. A balance transfer, look into it. You could be able to do a debt consolidation. A debt consolidation is going to be better, is because it's going to allow you to, 1, have that clear mental note of you only got 1 monthly payment instead of this account, this account, this account, this account, this account. You could be able to just pay that one company, and you can have a fixed interest rate versus if you had credit card debt and having a variable interest rate that's constantly always changing and fluctuate. You can properly budget to say, okay, this month I have a $300 payment versus is this month gonna be $400 and this month $200. You picking up what I'm putting down? I hope so. Look into doing a debt consolidation. You can also increase your credit score to give you more buying power. What other loan products and services are you going to be eligible for? Because if you got bad credit, baby, you a risk assessment. The same way you ain't gonna let your homie borrow money from you and they know not paying people back, why do you think the bank will allow you to do the same? So pay people, pay off your debt. There's only so much you can do. Make for sure that you ain't holding your breath and waiting for your student loans to disappear, because it may not happen, and if it do, that's a great thing too. And while we at it, make for sure you like, you comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. And you may not want to hear, but another way to pay off debt, you may need a side hustle or two. Yeah, that's okay. Quit Netflix and chill, because it ain't in the budget, and it's time to pick up another job, another stream of income. Work part-time, work. Do whatever you got to do to pay off your debt and stay out of debt. Once you get out of debt, what's next? It's investments. Another option to be able to pay off your debt is a snowball debt method, and this is when you're gonna make the minimum payments of all your debts, and any excess funds you have, you're gonna apply it to the smallest balance. We focus in on smallest to largest, okay? Another way to pay off your debt, and you ain't want to hear this, and this is technically number 1, is budget. That's right. You gotta budget your way to success, baby. I don't think they want to hear me, but that's the right thing they need to do. They need a budget. I don't think they want to hear you. Did you know if you was able to budget and minimize those expenses and cancel that gym membership that you're not utilizing and stop eating out, maybe we'll free up a little bit of money and pay off our debt once and for all? You picking up what I'm betting down? So yes, budget. A budget is going to allow you intentionally plan out your money so you can know how much you can allocate towards debt each month. Another option is a debt avalanche option. This is where you're going to tackle your debt, focusing on interest rate, not necessarily the balance, but the highest interest rate. Now, you still make the minimum payments on all debts, but any excess funds you're focusing on eliminating based off interest. And another thing, how we could be able to pay off this debt, baby, I'm gonna need you to use your negotiation skills. That's right. Just like how you never wanted to negotiate when you got that new job and you just wanted to take it because you were so excited. No, I need you to know your worth, okay? Stand on business. Know your worth. I need you to negotiate. It's a simple communication. What's the worst they can do is say no, and the best they can do is say yes. And what that's gonna mean, save a little coin or two. And while we also focusing on paying off debt, I need you to prioritize your debt. I need you to write it out. Like, be for real. You know, you get mad when you're dating and someone lying, saying they go do this, they do that. You don't like that. I need you to quit lying to yourself and be for real for once and write out all your debt. Quit saying that you owe about $20,000. About is not a number. Is it $20,123.17? What exactly Is that debt included? Is that student loan debt? Is it your auto loan? Are you including mortgage? Are you not including mortgage? Is that a personal loan? What debt is that? Is that one main loan that you've been having for 5 years and you still ain't made a dent into it? What is it? Is it them IOUs that you've been borrowing money from everybody else and you ain't paid them back, and then now every time they call you or text you, you are ignoring them? That debt? Yes. I need you to prioritize your debt and just write it out. We make things so complicated more than it has to be, of always focusing on how to do something instead of doing it. Get uncomfortable. Pay off your debt. It's the money that you once borrowed. I don't understand how people be like, oh, I ain't gonna never pay that. Well, you ain't gonna never be where you want to be. Sometimes to be able to level up, you gotta take it on the chin and bite your tongue sometimes and do what is necessary. Pay off your debt. Get out of debt, stay out of debt. There is a such thing as good debt and bad debt. And good debt is the debt that you control. It's the debt that is intentional. And bad debt is the debt that's controlling you. The one that's keeping you up late at night when you can't sleep and you keep tossing and turning, wondering how you're gonna make a way out of no way. You robbing Peter to pay Paul, taking a payment here, putting a payment there. When are we gonna stop spending the rest of our life always in survival and struggle mode? You deserve better. That it's time to walk into your purpose and shed the light on you and be the person that you were designed to be. It does no good watching my YouTube channels and you go take information overload, take notes and saying you want better and you're gonna do better, but you never do it. Make this your last year struggling. Pay off your debt. I don't care if it's $25, if it's $50. Pay something versus nothing. Call them, talk, communicate, and seeing what is your options. But my biggest thing is to be able to support you on defining the level of success you desire through budgeting, savings, and credit. Now, when I ask you, what are some of your goals? Is that becoming a homeowner? Is it buying a house? If it has high tiers of credit card, traveling? If it's growing your hair, eating healthier, moving into a better school district, whatever your financial goals is going to start with the importance of financial literacy. And not only are you going to have to manage your money, you need to save money to make for sure you're preparing for a rainy day, because guess what? Y'all be trying to prepare for rainy days and it start raining the same day. That's why you gotta prepare for it. But once you save, like if you wanna fix your credit, we gotta start reducing the amount of debt. This is why you can't get approved for loans, because your DTI is too high, your debt to income ratio. This is why when grandma trying to go apply for a loan, she can't get it because she on fixed income. She struggled all her life and she's struggling now. Make for sure that you are not constantly struggling, because that ain't in the budget. And before we get out of here, I just got one question for you. Is that in the budget?